Americans don't get a Jeep Avenger. It's sold in Europe, it's smaller than the Jeep Renegade, and it is less off-road capable, but it is fairly popular so far. About 30% of the buyers chose the all-electric. The rest got the kind of slow hybrid, the standard front-wheel drive hybrid, and now they are introducing a 4xe, which is more off-road capable and more powerful. It's got a 1.2 liter turbo engine with 136 horsepower and a 48 volt hybrid system with twin 21 kilowatt electric motors, one front, one rear. Transmission is a 6-speed dual clutch automatic. It does 0 to 62 miles an hour in 9.5 seconds, so not a speed demon by US standards. So you might ask what makes it a real 4xe, and the answer is it does have all-wheel drive. The all-wheel drive is locked in a 50-50 ratio at speeds under 19 miles per hour. From 19 to 56 miles per hour, it activates on demand. The rear axle drive, rather, activates on demand. It's always got front-wheel drive. And the rear electric motor stays connected to the rear wheels in case you suddenly need it. And there, the torque distribution is based on demand. It can go up to 50-50. Once you go over 56 miles an hour, you're on front-wheel drive and the rear motor disconnects to save fuel. It has select terrain with automatic modes, snow, sand and mud, and sport, which gives you more rear wheel bias. The 4xe appears to be the only Avenger with a multi-link rear suspension, that Jeep trademark, which increases rear axle articulation, that's up-down movement. It also has a rear tow hook, standard roof bars, and seats which the company claims are twice as durable and completely waterproof. You also get new fog lights, which are slightly restyled and moved for greater visibility at night. The front and rear bumpers are molten color material that was pioneered by ye old Chrysler back in the 90s with an anti-scratch finish. At the front you get a new bumper which exposes the wheel, and you get cladding to protect the license plate, of all things, and also the front lower grille, and this is important, the radar, because those things are pricey to replace. We're talking ever so slightly over 8.25 inches. Now, if you want to compare these numbers to the Jeep Compass Trailhawk, which is the most off-road capable Jeep Compass, you're talking an approach angle of 30 degrees on the Compass versus 22 on the Avenger 4xe, 24-degree breakover versus 21, so fairly similar, and departure of 34 on the Compass versus 35 on the Avenger. So you can see that the Avenger's real issue is that approach angle, and to a lesser degree the breakover angle. The ground clearance of 8.25 inches is pretty good for a car of that size. Alright, now that's all that I've got about the car itself. The Avenger is a pretty good seller in Europe. It's very well suited for European roads, which tend to be narrower than American roads. And gasoline is, of course, much more expensive. And people are more attuned to the issue of global warming, which I realize is controversial here, so I will not dwell on it. But the press release must be mocked, and I really do mean it. It seems like a reasonable car for Europe. I don't think it's a good car for the United States because Jeep here means something more serious in terms of off-road capability. I honestly don't know strategically if a less capable Jeep makes any sense. I really can't tell if the body on this Jeep is up to American Jeep strength standards. I don't know how it does off-road because I haven't taken it off-road. But the press release is a little over the top, and it starts celebrating its rich heritage of exploration and groundbreaking design. The iconic Jeep brand introduces the remarkable Jeep Avenger 4xe. Now, of course, if it's iconic, then you don't want to call it a brand, because Jeep brand cheapens the word Jeep. It indicates basically, yes, this is the label that we put onto it, but it's not like a separate car or anything. It's just another brand. So let's go back to the press release. We get a little crazier here. Building upon the resounding triumph of Avenger since its launch, this newest edition marks the culmination of the esteemed brand's lineup. Now, I have to leave it to you whether you think that the Jeep Avenger 4xe is the culmination of everything that Jeep has ever done, which would kind of cheapen the Wagoneer, the Wrangler, the Gladiator, and so forth. Okay, moving on to the press release. With an unwavering dedication to advancing performance and embracing electrification, Jeep proudly presents the Avenger 4xe to a renowned group of European journalists, epitomizing its unmatched legacy as a global leader in SUV excellence, bringing more fun, more freedom, and more Avenger to the world. I have to say that the press release does not get better than this. They talk about being rooted in a customer-centric ethos, where Jeep prioritizes listening to and addressing the needs of its clientele. They talk about meticulous attention to detail, and like my students, they use meticulous correctly sometimes due to random chance, and incorrectly at other times because I don't think that they know what it means, but they just use the word meticulous because it sounds good. I will leave it to you to decide whether I'm talking about my students or the people who wrote or the AI that wrote this press release. I'm really not sure which it was. They talk about the drivetrain and how this configuration not only amplifies the fun performance that Jeep enthusiasts crave, but also introduces a heightened level of excitement through the e-boost function in sport mode. Now, they also mention that it's 136 horsepower for the engine, and then later they talk about 136 horsepower for the car. So I'm not entirely sure which it is, but I'm betting it's 136 horsepower for the engine and the car combined. Either way, to quote the press release, the features and performance of the powertrain elevate the capabilities of the Avenger 4xe to new heights. It doesn't say new heights compared to what, but I'm guessing it's the previous Avenger. And then it says, the Jeep Avenger 4xe epitomizes a harmonious fusion of power, agility, and efficiency, catapulting the brand into a new era of automotive excellence and enjoyment. I will leave that to you. They do talk about the Avenger as being the epitome of Jeep's core value of freedom and the culmination of the Jeep brand's unwavering commitment to providing customers with the freedom of choice. I'm not sure what the freedom of choice here is, other than it's another powertrain. It has all-wheel drive in addition to front-wheel drive. It uses gasoline in addition to electricity. All very nice. I don't know if it's even a plug-in hybrid because they don't tell us here, but I'm guessing it's not. But I don't know because it doesn't say. It just is full of words that, when used too often, lose their meaning. I guess what I'm asking for is more technical data, more editing, and fewer over-the-top superlatives in future Jeep press releases, please. And with that, I'm signing off. This is Dave from StelPower.com, where you will find a much less sarcastic story.